A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
Right, that's us down into P16 now. You're leading the pack, that's P1. And we're in front of Hauger, Piastri and Norris. Fastest lap at the moment, 1:27.7. A quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are Verstappen, Hauger, Leclerc, Iwasa and Piastri. So, just ahead of us in this session at the moment are Albon, Ocon and Tsunoda. And just behind us are Pourchaire, Zhu and Tub. Here are the top 5 cars as things stand. Verstappen, Hauger, Norris, Piastri and Leclerc. The fastest lap at the moment, 1:26.4. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Hauger, Norris and Piastri. And just behind us are Leclerc, Gasly and Iwasa. Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1 minute 26.4.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. The beloved Suzuka had a couple of unplanned years away from the calendar, but it's now back where it belongs, at the heart of the Formula One season. Welcome along to the Japanese Grand Prix. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles. It's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 circuit. And the drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. Keep an eye out for overtakes into the final chicane. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Dennis Hauger completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Oscar Piastri, Hadjar, Leclerc, Gasly, Iwasa, Ocon, Albon, Tsunoda, Théo Pourchaire, Joe, Hülkenberg, Doohan, Leclerc, Fittipaldi, Sargent, Vesti and Ollie Behrman. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Okay, how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. As things stand, we're going to be leading the championship. P6, you got P6. They're on fresh mediums. Gasly's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, gap to leader, 4.4 seconds. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Okay, you've got 25 laps to go. Okay, watch the aggression, please. We don't want to lose places because of a penalty. That's P7 now, P7. Ocon is ahead of you. They're on fresh mediums. Gasly behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Our gap to first place, 5.4 seconds. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Okay, you've got 25 laps to go. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 2.4 seconds. Okay, Isaac, that's Charles ahead of you now. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push. Okay, Charles ahead, and gap to the car in front, 1.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got 1 more stop. And the time last lap, 1 minute 30.6. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. Keep going. Some information on Hauger. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car. Ocon behind. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got 1 more stop. Time last lap, 1:31.7. Okay, good work. Great pass. Hulkenberg ahead of you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Time last lap, 1 minute 31.4. Okay, clear. Currently sat in 6th. That's Gasly ahead. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Ocon behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, gap to leader, 29.0 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, 7 laps to go. Catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 5.2 seconds. Ocon's behind you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Your last lap time, 1:31.3. Car behind starting to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.